Welcome to Tea with Marie, and you can see we're in our cabaret mode today, and our audience is sitting right here, and our guests are over here. But which one should we interview first? No, okay, I'm only kidding. We're lucky tonight. We have these wonderful guests. We have Doc Wood, and we have Joe Miller. And do you have a name for your group?
Depends. Sometimes, we used to be the South Kingston Trio when there were three of us.
Okay.
When we recorded a CD of sea songs, we became the Rusty Scuppers. But typically, we just perform as Doc Wood and Joe Miller.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. Well, anyway, I forgot to tell you, I'm Marie Younkin-Waldman, and welcome to Tea with Marie. And this is our cabaret show. So we're going to hear wonderful music tonight. We've got a live audience here, all different kinds of people here, and babies and everything. And so first, I'd like to have Joe and Doc tell us a little bit about your music.
Sure.
Steve, Doc, what do you want me to call you?
Well, Doc's okay.
Okay.
Steve's okay. Hey,
Yeah,
you
you got the folk music genre, and you're from South County, right?
Yes. Folk music, both Joe and I have been singing folk music for over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been singing together for probably since the early 80s. And
Did you know each other from growing up together? Or
No,
something?
we met when I moved to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
And
Actually,
So-
our sons met each other, and then we got involved. So
Oh.
when our sons were going to school together.
Oh, okay.
And he said he liked to play the guitar and sing songs, and so I gave him a test. I gave him an obscure song, and he knew it. So I knew that we were compatible in terms of folk music. And so we've been playing it off and on together ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why do you choose the folk music genre instead of something else?
well, in part it was my rebellious youth. My dad's a jazz and classical musician, and I wanted to do anything that he didn't do. And he didn't do folk music, and folk music was extraordinarily popular in the late 50s, early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gravitated towards that. And it's one type of music that has not ever completely gone out of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
We can sing songs that are 300-400 years old, and they're just as good today as they were then. And there are contemporary artists still coming up with brand new old folk songs.
So how do you define folk music?
Folk music is largely undefinable. Pete Seeger gave up trying to define it decades ago. But it's simple music that comes from the people. It's music you can sit around and sing. It's music that celebrates work. It celebrates the struggles in life. It is not a commercial, hyped up, overproduced process. It tends to be relatively simple and direct.
Okay, which is great because we love to have simple things here on Tea with Marie.
Well, I'm a simple person.
Simplicity and beauty, it seemed to be a good idea. So what's the first piece that you're going to play?
The first one we'd like to do is called Haul Away Joe, and it's not named after Joe Miller. It's a
It's
work
not?
song. Sorry, Joe. It's a work song used on sailing ships. When I was a little lad, and so my mother told me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. If I did not kiss a gal, my lips would all grow moldy. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. But then he got his head chopped off, it spoiled his constitution. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. At first I had a Spanish girl, but she was fat and lazy. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. But now I've got an Irish girl, she nearly drives me crazy. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way making duff so handy. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. The captain's in his cabin, drinking tea with Maria. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Moment to hold the microphone. I want to take this moment to introduce our wonderful studio audience here. And over here we have Nicole Miller, right?
Yep.
And you're
Yeah.
involved with another cable show, I guess, right next door. Sometimes we have her as a regular guest or audience member. Next to Nicole is Taylor Miller. And you like music, right? Okay. He's been on before as an audience member. And sitting right here is Judy Wood. Good to have you here. And Judy is related to Steve Wood by marriage.
She's my executive producer.
And, yeah. And behind here we have this lovely baby and her mom. And I hope the camera is on the mother and the baby right now. Okay, that's great. And that lovely mom is Mary, and she is the daughter of our director, Judy Beejan. That's Mary Beejan. Not Mary Beejan, Mary something else.
Duncan.
Yeah. Don't you have a different last name?
Duncan.
Oh, okay, that's right. And the baby's name?
Riley.
Riley. Okay, come closer so we can see baby. Baby Riley is really enjoying the music. Okay, now moving back over here to our musicians. After we take a look at the baby, we can talk to the musicians. So you've been playing for how many years, did you say?
I've been playing since the mid-'60s, and Joe probably precedes me by a year or two.
And you guys have a lot of CDs out too,
We
right?
do. I record for the Neoga label, and I have 4 CDs out.
Okay, that sounds great. And so you got about 4 CDs which are available to people. And so the folk music is still popular, and it's something that everybody can relate to because it's sort of universal, like Shakespeare or something. I guess it just doesn't change.
Yes,
And there's a need for folk music.
always. There will always be folk music. Okay.
The
Did you
beauty
wanna
of
say
folk
something?
music is that it tells the story most of the time. It tells the story of hardships. It tells the story of love. It tells the story of traveling. And that's what's the beauty of it is. And a lot of the people and a lot of the stories that have handed down from generation to generation have still used those same stories and the same songs. You can take the same story in music, and if you trace it back, a lot of times they'll go back for a couple hundred years, and different modern variations of it, but the roots actually go back several
But
hundred
this
years.
is what happened way back when they played music and had stories to hand down because a lot of people couldn't read and that type of thing,
That's
right?
correct.
And the reason that they put stories to music is it makes them easier to learn and to
Right.
memorize. So when you're passing down stories from generation to generation, you're doing it in rhyme and in music, it's easier to remember.
Great. Now you've got a few different instruments too. I know you want to
Yes.
play. So now you've got what?
Yes, this is my Dan Crary signature model Taylor guitar. It's a beautiful 6-string, and a little later you'll get to see Joe's 6-string guitar. But as we go through and change instruments, I'll talk about them a little bit. I opened up with the 6-string banjo, which is a relatively unusual instrument. 4-string banjos, 5-string banjos are relatively common. 6-string banjos are not very common, and but turns out to be a lot of fun to play. And picking up on what Joe said about stories, there's a story about a sailor called Stormalong. And Stormalong was a famous folk hero, and huge size, needed a huge ship. In fact, it was so big it wouldn't fit through the English Channel. So they had to soap the sides of the boat up to fit through the English Channel, which is why we have the White Cliffs of Dover.
The Paul Bunyan of the sea.
Paul Bunyan of the Sea. But this is a song that we'd like to do for you about the death of Stormalong. And the song is a little over 100 years old as far as we can tell. Stormy's gone, that good old man, to me way, storm along. It's a long, long journey, storm along. It's a long, long journey home. We'll lower him down with a silver chain to me way, storm along. It's a long, long journey, storm along. It's a long, long journey home. And the waves that roll, and the winds that blow, will carry him over the sea to a place I know where the best of sailors go. That's where our captain will be. He's moored his last and furled his sail to me way, storm along. It's a long, long journey, oh, roll along. It's a long, long journey, storm along. It's a long, long journey home. Stormy's gone, that good old man.
That was great. That was beautiful. So we've got some other instruments that you're going to play.
We do. I'm going to
happening?
pick up the 12 string, which is a big monster of a machine. Maybe
Decorated with.
it's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. The wood on the back is just simply gorgeous.
What kind of wood is that, Doc?
It's maple. It's what they call flamed maple. And my son actually was one of the guitar builders who made this guitar.
Oh, wow. It's great.
So this is a song that a lot of people have sung over the years and a lot of people know.
Me?